Hi guys, so today what we're talking about is nutrition and how to eat healthy and reach your lifestyle goals that you have. So with nutrition, it's important to consider your dietary needs. These are going to vary based off of your specific goals and your bodily needs. So if you're, say, trying to lose weight, your diet plan is going to be different than somebody that's trying to gain weight or gain muscle or maintain body weight. It's really specific to your goals, and so you have to eat in order to reach those goals or maintain your exercise level to reach those goals. It's also going to vary based off of your sex. Males need more calories and greater quantities of food than females do, typically, depending on their activity level. Age is also going to affect it. As a teenager, you're going to be burning more calories than you will later on in life. So, like, the younger you are and the more that you're going through, like, growth spurts, you're going to need more calories. And your current weight can also affect your needs. If you are, like, larger, your body is going to burn more calories to maintain your body weight or to stay the size that you are. It just will take more calories to maintain daily processes. If you are smaller and a smaller person, or like a shorter person, someone of smaller stature, you would need fewer calories than somebody that is larger. Pre-existing conditions can also affect what you should eat or your dietary needs. If you had, say, like diabetes, you'd need to watch your blood sugar levels and watch your carbohydrate intake so that you're not raising that level of sugar in your body. So you really have to consider those pre-existing conditions as to what dietary approach you need to take, and consider like your health care provider's opinions on what you should be eating and consuming. Something else to keep in mind is dietary plans are not a one-size-fits-all approach. The only things that are a must for all would be fruits and vegetables, because fruits and vegetables are going to have a lot of your nutrients and your vitamins and minerals that you need to maintain a healthy body. And so those are the only things that everybody must consume. Other than that, dietary plans can vary greatly just based off of your goals and based off of your body type and how your body processes food. According to MyPlate, they do have some average or recommended intakes of certain types of food groups. These are going to vary based off of the type of diets that you want to have, based off of your weight, based off of your age. They're just some guidelines to kind of help you get things figured out. So these are a good starting place, but depending on your physical goals, they're going to vary some. With nutrients, it's also important to know that there's energy providing and non-energy providing nutrients. Carbohydrates are going to be, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are going to be energy providing. So those carbs are going to provide energy, and the sources are going to be like your vegetables, your grains, fruits, and sugars. Some of them are going to be healthier carbohydrates than others. So like your vegetables and your whole grains are going to be your more healthy carbohydrates. But you can also get it from like sugary things. Protein is another energy providing nutrient, and it's going to be like a builder and repairer of body tissue. That's why they say once you've exercised, you should eat some high protein foods so that it helps to repair that tissue and that muscle that you've just worked out. Some sources would be your meats, beans, eggs, dairies, nuts, and then combinations of vegetables. And you could get them from lots of different combinations of vegetables. They just need to be planned out. So your easier sources would be your meats, beans, eggs, dairy, and nuts. But depending on your diet, vegetables could be an option too. Fat is also going to be energy providing. And so fat is going to help with insulation, protection, and reserve energy. It's also going to help to absorb some types of nutrients. You need a small amount of fat in your diet in order to be able to maintain normal body processes. So those sources are going to be oils, fish, meats, dairy, nuts. All of those would carry certain types of fat. Your non-energy providing nutrients would be your vitamins, minerals, water, and fiber. Vitamins are going to help with metabolic processes. They're going to help maintain like your internal workings of your body. They also help to keep your skin and hair and nails healthy. And so you need those vitamins. Some good sources of vitamins would be fruits, vegetables, dairy, but really like grains and lots of other things would contain vitamins as well. Especially with the enriched grains that like have vitamins and minerals added to them. Minerals are going to help with your skeletal structure. If you're not getting enough like calcium or other vitamins, your skeleton would not be very strong. Your bones might be very brittle. Good sources would be vegetables, meats, fruits, and grains. Really, you could get minerals from lots of different things. It just depends on what type of minerals you're trying to get. Water is going to be for hydration, and it's most essential to life. It's going to help maintain normal body processes inside of you. It's going to help carry vitamins to different parts of your body. It's going to keep you just energized and keep you healthy. Sources of water would be, of course, water. You could just consume water. But you could also get it from fruits and vegetables and other things that have a lot of moisture in them. But drinking water is the best way to get that source. And then fiber helps with the digestion of food. And it's a lot of times found in your fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. It helps with digestion and helps with like passing waste out of your body. It's really important to get fiber so that your body stays regular. With nutrition, there's lots of diets that are out there, and they can be really confusing as to what is going to be helpful for you or what like really is going to be the best option. So I'm going to go over a few different diets that are out there, and it's really important to note that you need to talk to a healthcare provider before starting any diet plan. If you start a diet plan without talking to them, it could be really harmful because you might not know what's going to work for you. So first is keto. That is one that's really popular. It's also called the Atkins diet, and it's low carb and high fat. It's going to limit your sugars and processed foods so that you are not getting all of those like carbohydrates through those foods. It can help you reduce your appetite in the like short term, and it should be a short term diet. It shouldn't be something that you do like for the rest of your life, but it can be really helpful to losing weight. An issue might be that you could gain weight back after when you reintroduce carbohydrates or restart consuming carbohydrates. You wouldn't want to overdo it on those carbs. Next we have paleo. And it's based off of a Paleolithic or a caveman diet. It's based off of what could have been gathered during that time. So you could consume meats, fruits, fish, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, but no dairy, no nuts, or no like peanuts, no legumes that would be like your beans or your peas, and no grains. It can help with weight loss. It's also going to limit those sugary processed foods. So it's healthier. It just is limiting certain types of things. So this is just another option that's out there that could be helpful with losing weight. Next, what we have is the vegetarian diet. And this would be no meats and focuses on a plant-based. They're not going to just introduce more carbohydrates or introduce other unhealthy things. They're focusing more on eating like fruits and vegetables. It may still include fish, eggs, and dairy. It depends on how strict of a vegetarian. If you are consuming fish, it might also be called pescatarian. and that would be like a vegetarian that includes fish. Eggs and dairy are also considered vegetarian, even though they technically are an animal product. Vegetarians will typically lose weight unless they're replacing meats with more carbohydrates, because carbohydrates can help you gain weight. Next, we have a vegan diet, and a vegan diet is the most restrictive type of vegetarian. So they're going to focus on vegetables and no animal products, but they're also not going to eat eggs, cheese, honey. Nothing that comes from an animal can be consumed with a vegan diet. So really focusing on not eating living beings. It must be planned out in order to get enough protein with a vegan diet. Otherwise, it can be really unhealthy and really harmful. You have to plan out your meals in order to get enough protein. So certain types of vegetables can be combined to get a full protein. Things like peas and carrots could be mixed together, or corn and beans. That would still give you protein without adding in meat or animal products. One thing to keep in mind with a vegan diet is it may be difficult to eat out at restaurants, because a lot of restaurants aren't going to cater to vegan diets. Next, we have Whole30. This is going to be like a 30-day short-term diet. It's going to focus on whole foods, no sugar, no processed foods, no dairy, no legumes, no grains. It's more of a restriction diet, or like a diet where you're cutting out foods rather than focusing on adding things or like focusing on eating certain things. It's focusing on like limiting some of the bad things. It's supposed to help you get in control of insulin and back in control of what you're eating and get you to where you're not craving sugar as much. It's typically not used for weight loss because it's not restricting the amounts of food. It's just certain foods that it's restricting and limiting. I've tried this one. It's very, very difficult to maintain because almost everything has sugar or dairy or grains or something that is not allowed on this diet. Low-fat diet used to be really popular, and typically people were lowering their fat intake to about 10% from the typical of about 30%. It can help you to lose weight, but the problem is it can cause more hunger. Low-fat foods typically are like they add sugar in to make them taste better, and fat can actually help you feel full. So low-fat diets have not been shown to be quite as effective as like a low-carb diet or some of the other diet plans that are out there. Intermittent fasting is something that's become really popular in the last few years, and it's a diet plan that includes weekly fasting either throughout a day or like a full day. So you might say like one option is like for 16 hours of the day you won't consume food, and for 8 of the other hours you will consume food. Or maybe 2 days a week you'll have fasting. It just depends on what your goals are and what you find works for you. It can help with weight loss unless you're overeating during the times of being able to consume. So if you're consuming way more calories to kind of compensate, then you're going to have some issues with losing weight on this diet. Some things to remember with diets: they should typically be maintainable. Some of these diets are not easily maintainable. It's not something that you can continue. And so while they might help you lose weight for the short term, if it's not something that's maintainable, then you won't continue to stay that weight. You'll gain that weight back. It's also going to depend on your overall goals. So if your goal is weight loss, maybe pick one of the diets that'll be maintainable long term. Or if your goal is to lose weight for a specific event, maybe one of these shorter term ones would be beneficial for you because it can help you lose weight quicker. If your goal is to gain weight, you would want to continue like focusing on higher protein and healthier foods still and gain weight in those ways. There are benefits and weaknesses of each. It's just going to depend on your body style, your body type, and your goals. And then again, always talk to a healthcare provider before starting a diet plan.